Hello students, welcome to our today's session. In our today's session, we are starting data structure. So dear students, first of all, in our first session, we have learned regarding what is data structure. So dear students, before we are learning regarding data structure, first of all, we have an idea regarding what is data and what is information. So basically, a data is a collection of raw facts and figure that doesn't convey some meaning. Okay, what is data? Collection of raw facts and figures that doesn't convey some meaning. Now, what is information? So, dear students, basically, the information is the processed form of data which convey some meaning. Okay, what I am saying? In case of data, we have only raw facts, and these raw facts have no meaning. But in case of information, we have such processed form of data that convey some meaning. Now, what is data structure? So, dear students, basically, a data structure is a way of organizing the data in a computer so that later on we can use this data effectively. So, dear students, basically, in case of data structure, we are using various types of data structure just like of array where we are storing similar types of value. So, right now you have an idea regarding data structure. It is a way to organize the data in a computer system. So dear students, or we can say that a data structure is the design of program which contain both structural and functional aspects. So now basically what are the various part of a program? So dear students, a program consists of two things. Number one is algorithm and number two is data structure. So here there is a question in your mind, sir, what is an algorithm? So dear students, suppose you have given a particular function and you have to perform or to solve that particular function. In that case, you are using step-by-step procedures. These step-by-step procedures to solve a particular function is known as algorithm, and also body data structure, a way to organize the data. So dear students, whenever we are combining the algorithm and data structure, it will make a program. So we can say that the data structure affect the design of the structural and functional aspect of a program. Then further we have studies what is the classification of data structure. So dear students, basically the data structure is normally divided into two broad categories. Our first category is preemptive data structure and our second category is non-preemptive data structure. So these two terms are new for all the students. Now basically what is preemptive data structure and what is non-preemptive data structure. So dear students, here you can see few example of preemptive data structure and non-preemptive data structure in hierarchical form. So in preemptive data structure we have integer, character, float and pointers, and in case of non-preemptive data structure we have array and list. Further, the array is divided into three parts. First one is single dimensional array, second one is two dimensional array, and at last multi-dimensional array. Similarly, the list is divided into two parts. First one is linear list and second one is non-linear list. Under linear list, we have stack, queue and linked list. And under non-linear list, we have tree and graph. Now dear students, we have learned what is primitive data structure, or what is the meaning of primitive data structure? So dear students, basically those data structures that are directly operated upon by the machine instruction, or we can say that those data structure that are directly operated upon the machine level instructions are known as primitive data structure, just like integer, float, character, string and pointer. Okay, then now question arise, if primitive data structures are directly operated on machine instruction, okay, then these data structures are not directly operated on machine data structure, so those data structure are known as non-primitive data structure. Why these are called non-primitive data structure? Because these are derived from primitive data structure, just like, as I can tell you, list, array. Okay, now dear students, further the non-primitive data structures are classified into two types, and our first type is linear data structure and our second type is non-linear data structure. Now what is linear data structure? So dear students, basically the linear data structure are kind of data structure that has homogeneous elements. Okay, homogeneous means similar types of elements. And dear students, in case of linear data structures, all the elements are in sequential form. Okay, just like stack, queue and linked list, these are our common example of linear data structure. Now what is non-linear data structure? Those data structure in which there is no sequential structure, or we can say that there is hierarchical relationship. Okay, just like tree and graph. Okay, so these data structures are known as non-linear data structure. Now dear students, we can learn few data structure one by one. So our first data structure is array. Now what is an array? So dear students, an array is the collection of similar type of data items that are stored at contiguous memory location. So dear students, as you can see in this image, we have an array. Okay, and this array contain some value, and these all values are integer type. Okay, so basically what happen in array? In case of array, we have collection of similar types of data items. Okay, either all the data items are integer, or either all the data items are character, or either all the data items are floating point. So dear students, in this image you can see we have all integers value. Here also you can see in the first block we have a number that is 0. What is this 0? So dear students, this is the index value. Okay, or this is the starting address of the array. So what we have learned, basically the array is the collection of similar type of data items, or the array is the collection of homogeneous data items, okay, that are stored in a contiguous memory location. Now we have learned regarding stack. So basically what is an stack? So dear students, a stack is a linear data structure which follow a particular order in which the operations are performed. Now question arises, sir, which particular order? So dear students, the order is either LIFO, that is last in first out, or that is philo, that is first in last out. So dear students, what happen in stack if you want to insert an element, okay, you can use push operation, and if you want to delete an element from stack you can use pop operation, okay. So all the value that is inserted, it is stored in the top of the stack, or all the value that is deleted from the stack and it is deleted from the top of the stack, okay. So what we have learned in case of stack data structure, we have LIFO operation, okay, or we have LIFO order, and it is a linear data structure. And also we have learned in case of stack, for insertion we have push and for deletion we have pop operation. Now we are learning our next data structure, that is queue. Now what is an queue? So dear students, a queue is also an linear data structure which follow a particular order for operation, and that particular order is FIFO. FIFO stands for first in, first out. So dear students, as you can see in this image, we have a queue. So dear students, in queue we have two ends. Our first end is rear end and our second end is front end. So dear students, whenever we are inserting the value, it is inserted in the rear end, and whenever we are deleting the value from queue, it is deleted from front end. So what we have learned in queue data structure, number one, it is a linear data structure. Number two, it work on first in first out principle. It has two ends, rear end, front. Insertion is done in rear end and the deletion is performed in front end. So this is our queue data structure. Now we can learn regarding linked list. So dear students, a linked list is also an linear data structure in which the elements are not stored at contiguous memory location. So dear students, what happened in linked list, we have number of nodes, okay, and these nodes are connected with each other with the help of pointer. So dear students, as you can see in this image, we have three nodes, node 1, node 2 and node 3, and each node contain two parts. Our first part contain the information of the element and our second part contain the memory address of next node in the list. That's why the second part is also called link part. Okay, so dear students, what we have learned in linked list, it is a linear data structure. Okay, second thing, in case of linked list we have number of nodes. Third thing, the nodes is divided into two parts. Our first part is information part and our second part is link part, which is used to connect another node. So this is the description of our linked list. Now we are covering our next data structure, and that is nonlinear data structure. Again, what is nonlinear data structure? So dear students, those data structure in which the data items are represented in hierarchical form is known as nonlinear data structure. Okay, so dear students, there are two types of nonlinear data structure. Number one is tree and number two is graph. Now, what is tree data structure? So dear students, a tree data structure consists of number of nodes, and these nodes are organized in the form of hierarchy. Okay, now you can see in this image we have number of nodes, and these nodes are connected by edges. Now you can ask, sir, what is edge? So dear students, edge is a connecting line between two nodes. So here you can see at the top of tree we have root. Okay, we have root node, that is a in this diagram. Then dear students, you can see this a root has two child, and that is b and c, and these two childs are connected by some lines, and these lines are known as edges. Similarly, dear students, you can see here we have node g, okay, and node h. Okay, so this node g is called leaf node because further it has no child node. Okay, so this is the basic structure of a tree. So but we have learned in tree data structure, basically it consists of nodes, and these nodes are organized in the form of hierarchy. The node at the top of hierarchy is known as root node, and the node that has no child is known as leaf node, and these nodes are connected by lines, and these lines are known as edges. Okay, now we can learn regarding graph data structure. So dear students, basically a graph is also a non-linear data structure. Okay, or we can say that a graph is a set of vertices and edges which connect them. So here you can see a graph G. Within parentheses we have b comma e. So here b represent the set of vertices and e represent set of edges. Now in the next slide we can see the diagram of a graph. So dear students, here you can see here we have two type of graph. Okay, so here b1, b2, b3, b5, b4, these are our vertices, and these lines between these vertices is known as edges. Okay, these are the connecting lines. So dear students, in this diagram we have two type of graph. Number one is directed and number two is undirected. And under directed graph we have some weighted value. Now what is this directed and undirected graph? First of all, we can clear this concept. Those graph where we have direction given are known as directed graph. So in first graph you can see with a particular arrow or with a particular S we have a arrow which indicate the direction. Just like here we have a arrow from b1 to v3, from b1 to b2, then b2 to v5. So here we have given a direction. That's why this graph is known as directed graph. And in second case there is no direction, that's why it is known as undirected graph. And one thing that we have to clear in first graph, dear students, we have given some values with edges. So any graph where we have some values given with edges is known as weighted graph. Okay, a graph where some weight is given with edges is known as weighted graph, and in second diagram there is no weight given with edges, that's why it is known as unweighted graph. So dear students, this is our graph data structure. So in our today session we have learned regarding what is a data structure. Then we can learn regarding two types of data structure, that is primitive and non-primitive data structure. Further, we can learn regarding few data structures just like array, stack, queue, linked list, tree and graph. So dear students, this is our session regarding introduction to data structure. Thank you for joining our today session.